The overlay project is where you have one piece of metal on top of another piece of metal, and we drew it out right here. We're going to have a C in the background and then a falcon over the top. It works good to kind of shade in the background or divide it so you definitely know what the background is and what the foreground is. I'm going to skip the part where we show you how to saw or cut the images out. If you want to know more about that, you can go to where we talk about the Pierce project. After we get them all cut out, the foreground and the background, we need to tap it flat. So take a mallet and an anvil, put the anvil down on the table, and you're going to just lightly tap the foreground flat, turn it over often. If you use the mallet, then you're not texturing it. And do the background. After you get the foreground and the background flattened, I like to file the edges. You can use the needle file, and they work good for the big edges and the big curves. And then to get into the tight places, you can use the diamond file. And you want to make sure that all the edges look really good. With the diamond file, you can go back and forth. It's easier to file before they're soldered together. I like to put an anvil down on the table and then put the sandpaper on top of the anvil. If you do that, then you know that the sandpaper's flat. I like to sand both sides. I also like to go just one direction. The most important side is the side that's facing you, since this is the background. So I'm going to spend most of my time on this side right here. I also like to hold it up in the light. When you hold it up in the light and you can catch the glare, you know that the whole thing's sanded. If you sand one direction, then the solder will tend to travel through some of those sanding scratches. The C's done. Now for the falcon, we want to spend most of the time on the part that's facing the C. So I'm going to sand a little bit on that side, sand a little bit on this side. It's going to be facing this way, so I want to sand mostly this side. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now both of them are done. So I'll take just a normal straight pin, and I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch away from the end of the pin head and bend it down into a 7 shape, so a little bit past a 90 degree. If it takes you longer than just a few seconds to bend these, you're doing something wrong. It should be a quick process. Some people like to pin it down and then flux it. On this one, we're going to flux it first and then pin it down, but just so you know, it works the other way too. This gets the flux in between them and flux the back side. We're also going to flux the top, helps keep everything clean. After we flux, we want to distribute the solder. Depending on your project, depends on how many solder pieces you'll need. Sometimes you'll just need a few. This one's going to need a lot because there's a lot of places where it's touching the image. We want it to be soldered all the way around. So I think on this one, I'm going to be using about 8 pieces. Sometimes you have a solid background and then it'll flow a little bit better. Okay, that's about where we want it. This one needs to be pushed up a little bit. Okay, we're going to line that up. That looks pretty good. I think originally we had it slid down a little bit, so let's go with that right there. There's probably about 8 pieces of solder underneath there. Now we're going to pin it down. We're going to use our pins that we bent. And we're going to find a place in the brick where we can push down and it's going to spring load our project. If you notice, I'm holding down really careful with my finger so it doesn't move. Kind of help keep it stable while I put the pins in different places. For the most part, probably 4 or 5 pins should hold most of your projects down. And then the pin head should rest on top of the overlaid metal, the foreground. Okay, we have one more pin, probably right here. Okay, just kind of test it, make sure everything's good. Now we're gonna heat it up. For a project this big, we're gonna need a pretty big flame. This is just a little bit bigger than a quarter. There's a lot of metal, so that's about a 3-inch flame. That should do it. There's a lot of negative space in here, so it's not gonna take too long to heat up. Gonna wanna kind of evaporate all the water, just lightly go around your project. There's the flux turning white. And now we can just kind of concentrate on one little part at a time. Get it the same color. Same color means same temperature. There's part of it soldered. Okay, moving it around. You can kind of see it kind of fall when it gets soldered. Okay, our whole project's soldered now. Kind of move it around, let it flow. And we're gonna pull the pins. Pull all the pins. But don't be tempted to put your project in the pickle bath with the hemostats. And also throw all these pins away when you're done using them. We don't want to reuse them. They've lost their integrity. And then we use the copper tongs. Gonna put it in the pickle bath. So you just douse it into the pickle bath, dip it in the water, and now we have our overlay. Now we're gonna file, sand, and buff. Okay, there's another way of sweat soldering, and that's on a tripod or this bridge. And I'm gonna solder these two together, but of course I want to flux it first. So I'm gonna brush the flux all over my background, get it covered really nice, and then the front and back of the foreground. The bridge is usually made for bigger projects, but and this one's about the size of a quarter, so this should work great. Sometimes you have a torch underneath and a torch on top. And for my flame, I'm gonna want probably around a 3-inch flame for this size of a art piece. And I'm gonna no pins are holding it down, we're just gonna go by gravity. I'm gonna evaporate the water. The flux will turn white. Flux is really turned white, so I use plenty of flux on this. I'm just going to get it warm, and then I'm going to go underneath and get the back plate hot. Carefully turn the torch upside down and get the heat underneath, get the nickel hot. That's the background, the C is the nickel. If I notice I need to come around, sometimes I can come around, get the top hot again. Okay, once you notice that it's all soldered, Gonna move the flame away, and we're gonna get in the pickle bath. Use the copper tongs, grab it, put it in the pickle bath, put it in the rinse water, and that's the second method of soldering it. So you're gonna have a buddy help you. And we're going to have a torch on the bottom, torch on top. Okay, it's important to get the top and the bottom the same color, same temperature. We're gonna grab it, put it in the pickle bath, put it in the rinse water, and that's the second method of soldering it. Okay, the next step we need to do is sand. So I like to put a piece of sandpaper down on an anvil, and then that way the sandpaper's nice and flat. And I usually start off with a rougher sandpaper, get it starting to look good, and then move to a finer sandpaper. Okay, after you file it the best you can, sometimes you need to put it in the swirler. It's really called a magnetic polisher, but we call it a swirler. It's in the back room by the windows. To put your project in, you just lift the lid, drop your project in, and then turn it on, and turn the timer on, turn it all the way around, and just let the polisher do its work. To take it out, you go ahead and turn this off, take the whole thing, and we're gonna go put it in the sink. Okay, when you have it in the sink, I like to put the lid off to the side and kind of just dig through. If it's not your project, you just set it on the lid. And the timer is good for 2 hours, but sometimes you have to leave it in there for a double shift. So 4 hours, sometimes even longer, 6 hours. This has been in for about 4 hours, and it's looking pretty nice. I'm going to take it out, and we're going to start buffing it. Also, there's this little medium that's in here. It's really small little pieces of stainless steel, and make sure you don't lose any of those. If anything falls in the bottom of the sink, make sure that you take it out, put it back on. Since everybody's project's on the lid, all you have to do is put the lid back on, everybody's project goes back, and then you can take this whole thing and go put it back on the swirler. To buff up your project, go ahead and turn on the light switch in the fan. It's on the side of the buffer. Then right in front, you can turn the buffer motor on. And this is how you start buffing up your project. Sometimes you have to get into the different angles, but turn it, do the perimeter first. The toughest thing is to get into the inside. Also, if there's any sharp edges, be careful not to catch the edge. It'll take it away from you and then bend your project. Turn off the motor, turn off the fan, and it's buffed up pretty nice. Just have to clean it up with a paper towel or a buffing rag. When you're all done buffing it, go ahead and put it in the light box, take a good picture of it, and then you're done.